3D Country seriously kicks ass. A big, bold, beautiful, maximalist cowboy ode to classic rock that is more than just a mere revival of these sounds of old, but more of a reckoning, as Geese stretches their influences to the extreme and creates new beauty from them. Also, this band is from New York. I just wanted to add that real fast. We can continue the review now. One of my favorite things to do while listening to this album is just sift through all the history and influences that make up this record. From the very Led Zeppelin type lyrics that are constantly talking about love through the lens of Norse mythology, like on 2122 and 3D Country. The Stones and Hendrix instrumental stylings that are very Brian Wilson in their approach, like on Mysterious Love or Demoto. The Talking Heads' David Byrne style vocals and rhythmical breakdowns, like on Cowboy Nudes. There are just so many threads that I get to pick at that are woven together beautifully in this silly southern ode to that era of music, but doing it in a way that gives Geese their own voice, instead of relying solely upon their muses. My favorite aspect of this record has to be Cameron's crooning. I absolutely love singing along to these songs, just going 25 over the speed limit, belting "Be my warrior," you know, God of the sun, I'm taking you down on the inside. Yeah. They are so expressive and explosive. They make the songs on 3D Country hit, and breathes life into the guitars, sitars, and banjos that you can find here. But what sticks with me about 3D Country is the story that Geese is telling. A story about a cowboy's loss of self in the wake of the suicide of his partner. You get a glimpse of their romance on 2122 and I See Myself. How powerful this love is. How powerful it made our cowboy feel. How he loved being someone's warrior. But there's a vulnerability that exists within this cowboy, a fear that something is coming for his baby, that he's denying because he's been hit by the bus of love and is unable to see his partner's pain. I See Myself can be read as a very sweet, pure love song about seeing yourself reflected in those that you love. But the tenderness of this song is sort of a red herring that distracts from the tragedy of this record. A tragedy that is brought out further on the title track, 3D Country, the centerpiece of the album, in my eyes, that juxtaposes the explosive Nordic love shown on 2122 with the sad and selfish side of this relationship. He's keeping her away from the Thompson because she wants to go back to the sky-high mother, not entirely out of love, but for his own sake. 'Cause it ain't easy living on my own. It ain't easy living all alone. You get the sense that he doesn't fully understand his partner. There is still a strong and powerful love there, but she still has to go for whatever reason that is mysterious to our cowboy. We kind of get a justification on Gravity Blues, which acts as a sort of suicide note to her cowboy, but she doesn't give a reason for her leaving, just a sad goodbye and an apology. You know I feel you, but I can't feel your pain, the kind of hurt that only years can take away. You know, their love was real, and it was vibrant, but it was also mysterious. They could feel one another, but they couldn't understand each other. They are still in love, but they can't do it anymore. And this tragedy leaves our cowboy in denial, as he's left to wander the desert in the wake of his lover floating away. You can feel this denial in Cowboy Nudes and Crusades, as our cowboy denies the love that he had for his partner, proclaiming that he wishes it could have ended a little sooner, that all he needs is the love of a tumbleweed. Everybody is born bleeding, but in my armor, I am a man. In his armor, he is a man. But there is still a deep loss that you can sense within his denial. I think the most interesting lyrical aspect of this album is the constant references to moving away to the sea. creating a life together with the fishes, and letting the years take the both of you away. But they never got to do so, and they will never get the chance to. This is something that is built up and expressed throughout this record. He tries to reckon with the loss of his partner, as he now realizes how much he needed her, but he never can get over her, as 3D Country ends on the tearful note of St. Elmo, coming in on these debilitated trumpets as our cowboy drunkenly sings this spiteful song. Why don't you go home and rot? You and the kids you grew up with. Leaving our cowboy alone in the desert, forever lost and unable to comprehend himself outside of the love he once had, losing himself completely to 3D Country. You could bring in 4D Country as an addendum to this record, as our cowboy finally finding closure and love in the final hour. Finally, love in the final hour. Yes, you could find closure in this EP, but you could also find more tragedy. And I think the ultimate fate for our cowboy is just, he loses himself. He's just done. He doesn't find love in the final hour. I'm sorry. 3D Country is a great record that tells a modern-day cowboy's tragedy through the soundscape of classic rock maximalism. It also feels kind of gay, because, like, it's a cowboy album, and cowboys are kind of gay. I don't think they meant for it to come across as gay, but it feels gay.